My house has officially reached a point where I can't ignore it anymore. These rooms need a little bit of my attention, so let's get into it and tackle this together. When I started off in my daughter's room, I had the best of intentions in just going in and doing a quick tidy up. But let me tell you, $120 later at IKEA, that's not exactly what happened. And let me inform you on how this happened. I came in and I thought, I'm just going to organize this little spot, do a quick tidy up, and then we'll be out of here because I don't have time to sort this out. And it feels like every time I clean her room, this particular side of her room is always chaotic and always just like a pile of things. The stuff that she likes to play with are like dolls and doll houses and Barbies and all those kind of things. So they have a lot of little pieces. And so it was everywhere. This is the room that just has no organization, and I feel like I use all of my skills everywhere else but here. I've been slowly just trying to purchase one little piece at a time for her room to try and bring some life into it, because I feel like I just kind of exhausted my brain on every other part of the house that I just didn't know what to do here. And so I thought, okay, for this particular week, I was going to purchase some storage. So I needed to absolutely clean the bejesus out of this room. There was clothes everywhere. There was toys everywhere. Also on the list, while I was in there, I was thinking, my word, we need to do a massive declutter because I have no more hangers left. I have no more space in her drawers to put anything. And when I was going through it, half of the stuff is like 2 sizes too small for her. It's honestly just me being lazy and not wanting to deal with what's going on in here. I definitely live by the mantra that I don't need to deal with something until it becomes burdening, and that is what's going on in this closet. I mean, look at these baskets. They are overflowing, and I don't even know what's in most of them. I know it started out as pajamas. What's in there now is like as much of a mystery to you as it is to me. Okay, I try to ignore it and think, oh, someone else will come through and do it for me. Unfortunately, I haven't cracked that code yet. So I will have to use my last 2 remaining brain cells to work out what I'm going to do here, because clearly this is not working. I honestly think a declutter will help massively. Someone commented that I had way too many clothes, and I absolutely agree. 100% hands down. But also, like, my personal laundry assistant does take some time to get through stuff some weeks, and you know, his schedule is entirely on him, and I would rather just have too many clothes and know that I have something to wear than not enough. And look, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. But back to what I am doing. I decided to sit my booty down and try and sort out this corner because I feel like there's just some little spaces where it's just junk that I've been ignoring for a while. And this little thing was full of her stuffed animals. She is quite the collector, I will tell you. Those also have to go on a purge, but I think that's going to be a little bit more emotionally taxing. So I've definitely put that in the too hard basket for a little bit longer. And then I just sorted the bejesus out of her bed because, as we could see, it is a mountain of blankets and stuffed animals. But this is what I did purchase from IKEA. It's of course the Calyx. I could have purchased it off Marketplace, absolutely. They are a dime a dozen on Marketplace, and they are a third of the price of what they are in store. But we have one car that could fit it, but like I need to transport myself, my husband, and obviously my kids, and that just won't all fit in the car plus this. So it was just easy to do a pickup from IKEA. I went with the Kmart olive green cube storage. So nice. I think they were like $3 a piece. It's from their newer range. And I won't lie, I did get decision fatigue while trying to sort out what I was going to put in each one. Like, why is that something that was stressful for me? Those kind of things really do get to me. Like, this is not permanent, Victoria. It's not a tattoo. You can literally just take it out and swap it up. For some reason, it felt like a permanent decision putting something in each of those cubbies. Before I get completely derailed, because we know I will, if you are comparing the Calyx to like whatever cube storage Kmart has, I would highly recommend getting the IKEA. It is worlds away from the Kmart one. It is so much taller, so much nicer, sturdier, everything. Just, I highly recommend getting that one. Even my husband, when he saw it completely made, because look, your girl's a G at making a flat pack furniture. I really just, for some reason, that's my kink. It is. Also, he wasn't home. So I did make it. Otherwise, I would have gotten him to help me out. I have no patience. If I want something done, I will get it done. Yeah, when he came home and saw it, he's like, oh, that's so much nicer. I'm just like, yeah. So I am kind of wanting to replace my son's Kmart ones because they're a bit dunzo. But yeah, we still have so much storage in it and they look great. I haven't decided what else I'm going to put in there yet. And we all know that is going to take me forever. But I won't lie, I did get buyer's remorse once I had finished building it. I was like, oh, I didn't really need this. Like as if I didn't need it. Did we see what it looked like at the start? This is what goes on inside my brain, right? Like the two brain cells are rattling around, hanging off all of the walls. It's not always great, but I think I'm going to leave the top set of cube shelves free because even though I don't really do toy rotations that much anymore, it is nice just to be able to have a few of their favorite things that they'll reach for out in the open a bit more. I think our time has come with toy rotations. My kids are kind of beyond that age. It is really designed for younger kids. My kids aren't the kind of kids that just take a basket of stuff and dump it on the floor and walk away. Like they will actually use it, and then if I ask them, they can clean it up. So the whole point of toy rotations is kind of mute at this point. I moved on to changing her sheets, and as you can see, I went back and forth with what I was doing because I didn't even know what I was going to do here. But I did decide to bring out our queen quilt cover. Her room is the only room without like a heating or cooling system. So even though we have two air cons in the other bedrooms and we turn them on to keep it warm, for her, it does still get a little bit chilly in there. So I decided to layer them up because it has dropped, folks. It has dropped to a whole 7 degrees at night. I know. Get your winter woolies out. It's pathetic. I know. It's not that cold. And I have to say, I was so glad that I bought that queen quilt cover when I did, because now I can have it out, and I hate washing doonas. It's just not my thing. It's such a pain in the butt, especially feather. I always feel like it's molding inside there and it goes clumpy and gross. And so good decision to do that. So now she has 2 quilts going on inside there. For the longest time, I thought she had a king single doona on her bed, the white one. And let me tell you, it is like impossible to find a king single doona cover. I don't know why they made king single doonas if they weren't going to offer covers for them. I don't know whose bright spark idea that was. But when I was changing the sheets, I found out that it was a single, and praise the Lord, because those are so easy to find. And let me tell you, I went out and I bought one straight away. I feel like her room is slowly coming together. Like it just wasn't a hallelujah, all at once, I know what I'm doing kind of thing. It was just bit by bit, we're working on it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the slow change in here. I do just have like one other thing on my list that I'm working on, and it is getting a rug for in here. This pathetic excuse for a rug that you see me holding right now, it has just been a temporary solution. I mean, we all know the most permanent solutions are the temporary ones, but I promise I am working on it. I'm tossing up between like a plain cream rug like I have in my son's room, or I like this checkered green and cream kind of colored rug from Adair's. It's a washable rug. It is like $400, which is like cheap for a rug, but like on the list of priorities, a dishwasher is higher than a rug. So I'm using that like placeholder, as I'll call it, for now, because she does love playing in here and I just don't want her sitting on the cold floors. Like I know I joke about the weather being cold. It is actually cold like on the floorboards. So at least if I've got that for now, I'm not worried about it every time I see her playing in there. The only thing that's holding me back from purchasing a rug, I mean, besides actual physical money, is the color of the rug. It is green and white checkered. Sorry, green and cream checkered. And I just don't know how many sheet sets that goes with. Do you know what I mean? Like she has a pink and white checkered sheet set. That's just a little too much checker. And I tend to like to buy my stuff that are not trend based, if that makes sense. So I don't want to replace it in like 4 years when that style no longer is in or it looks dated. That is also just something playing in my mind. Now I did go ahead and eventually spray the room with room spray. That was a little extra add-on. It's just the Cocoa Bloom from Adair's, and I'll tell you, it is amazing. I went in there regularly just to sniff that thing and I was like, nah, I gotta buy this. I got to buy this at some point. It is really delicious. Moving on to my son's room, as you can see, pure chaos. When I came in here after doing my daughter's room, like the following day, I was like, oh, you know, when you just feel defeated, that's what was happening. As you can see, everything is everywhere. I kind of just abandoned this. Really, I did. And I just let the kids do whatever the heck they wanted to do, because I think I am officially over these Kmart shelving systems. I took a couple of the pieces. It's supposed to be like a cube storage. I took a couple pieces out, and ever since then, they've been janky, okay? My whole $20 that I spent on each one, it's starting to show. And then after I put together the IKEA ones, I was like, look, there's a big difference. And that's probably why I was so annoyed at these. And he has like by far aged out of this sort of open plan toy storage system. And I find that I'm dragging my feet to change things over. I need to have a good look at what to do for boys' rooms, because I'm not sure yet how I'm going to reorganize it into something a little more mature. But I did just sit down and sort out all the teeny tiny little bits and bobs. As I've said a million times, I have been doing a toy declutter, and I kind of just hit a wall. The dopamine wore off, and I no longer wanted to do that activity. So I had abandoned ship. Unfortunately, current day Victoria had to sort it out. So that's just me sitting on the floor, sorting out all these little toys into little containers and just finalizing what we do and don't need. I very much hoard onto toys that I think the kids will enjoy, that the kids show no interest. I'm not sure why I do it, but that is why we are where we are at the moment. Something I did sort out was this kitchen system, and I think this is one of those things that I have been holding on to for too long. The kids did enjoy it from younger years, but like, look at the doors. Everything was just a bit broken, and we've had it so long, and they just show zero interest. The only interest that they have is when they're climbing inside it and it's breaking more. So I did decide to take that out of the room, and you'll see later on it looks so much nicer just with that space gone, and the kids don't miss it. Don't worry, it does currently reside in the living room because I haven't quite made it out the front door with that yet, but we know that's going to take me a few weeks just to do that in itself. Try not to look at the chaos behind me. I do get there eventually. As you can see, it is why I gave up. There is just so much stuff everywhere. But in this clip, I am just sorting out all of the bits and bobs that were around the kitchen. I had like baskets of felt fruit and vegetables, and I had baskets of wooden stuff, and just basically too much of everything. I came back and just vacuumed and set up this little corner for him so that he has somewhere to sit down and kind of do some things here. He is in his reading era, which I love, and we are going to the library so regularly, and I'm telling you, this kid is going through 4 books a week. At the moment, he's obsessed with Dogman series. If you know, you know. But basically, it's like manga, but for kids. I think actually Dogman is created by the Captain Underpants author. So he has been reading 3 to 4 books a week, which, you know what, better than screen time, honestly, which we've really limited screen time down to just the weekends because he doesn't need it and they function so much better without it. But he does still have TV and homework on the computer as well, so there's still heaps. The only time it gets a little bit out of hand is school holidays, which we are currently in. And it's just once it gets to the end of the holidays, those last 4-5 days, you're like, oh my gosh, they're at each other, they're in each other's space all the time. One doesn't want one in the room, the other one wants them to play with them. If you know, you know, it can get a little bit chaotic. So we've just been trying to fill up our spare time with some activities, mostly going to the movies, going to trampoline parks. I think actually we did bowling the other week. That was really fun. Turns out I'm not too bad at bowling. I forgot how bad it was for your fingers. It did break all my nails while I was there, but oh my gosh, we had heaps of fun. It is so expensive. Tell me why it's $20 a person to go bowling. For one game, $20, that's crazy. So we did do that. Hubby and I didn't have the bumpers on our game, and we were like, most of the time a lot of 8 and 9s, but there were some 6 and 7s in there. But the people on either side of us, we didn't realize until later on, they were getting strikes and they were getting like 9s consistently. And we're like, oh my God, they're so good. No, they just had bumpers, okay? So it makes a world of difference. My son had bumpers as well, and he did really well on it. So we were like, oh, we don't feel so bad that we're trash at this as we watch like our ball literally end up in the gutter and go down and hit absolutely nothing. And it always happened to be on the second roll. That first roll, we would get like an 8. And then when you're trying to get those last 2 and you get nothing, it's a bit annoying, to be honest. But we are now sorting out the Leaning Tower of containers. I had a surplus of them after I did the declutter because I was brutally honest with myself in getting rid of toys that I didn't need. And that, like I said before, was just me holding on to them. So I took the time to go through it, and the only reason I hadn't put them away previously was because I didn't know what I was going to do with them. I didn't know if I was going to keep them or not. I decided just to get rid of most of them. A lot of it I had from back in my toy rotation days, and so I would have lots of cute little baskets. Actually, that's one of my favorite things about toy rotations, is like you get to pick the little baskets for everything. Most of it is from IKEA. I get a lot of it because it's cheap and it does what I need it to do. So I think there are a few floating around still in his bedroom. So if you see any tubs, don't point them out to me. It feels so much better. And I feel better for him as well. Like he doesn't deserve just like a pile of clutter that his mum doesn't want to work with. I did tidy up partially under his bed. I decided not to clean out under all of it because if you have seen the previous time I've cleaned under or behind this thing, it is torture in itself, okay? No, just simply no. I was not ready for that. And moving that bed, I was like, oh my God, I know it's gonna be just as bad under there. I only like worked around the corner and just like did what I could see. Anyway, tell me your favorite thing to procrastinate on. No, I am kidding. I do need holiday ideas. Not me completely circling back to that thing from 2 minutes ago. Yeah, I need some good free ideas as well. Okay, the bank account is not endless. There seems to be a lot of holidays. We have one more lot of holidays before the big Christmas holidays. Isn't that crazy? But also, low-key, I'm kind of in the mood for Christmas. I don't know what it is. I just started looking at things online. I'm like, has anyone brought out their Christmas range yet? Come on, like, even though we're like at the end of July. I go hard on the Christmas. I don't care. I want it to look like Santa Claus's grotto. Try and hold me back from buying a third tree this year. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to because that would be crazy. I just bought a new tree 2 years ago. But I mean, like, I could have a tree in every room and I would be the happiest person. But I know you're probably nauseated and telling me, hold your horses, sweetheart. Let's get through the rest of the year. So I will put in a song now and then I will catch you in a minute. cutting that song off before you think you are in the ivy. Got a little wild there. I had a mountain of washing, as you are seeing unfold in front of you. 4 baskets or so. I was having a moment where I was just really overwhelmed, and hubby asked me what I needed from him to help me feel a little bit better. And so I said, if you can just like go and sort out the washing for me, that would be fantastic, because the weather during this like winter period, the weather is always just raining and cold. You know, you can do all the washing and it just stays wet. It basically takes you forever to get through a couple loads of washing if you're not using a dryer. Your girl air dries, okay? If I don't have a dishwasher, I don't have a dryer. So he must have taken it as his mission statement, because the next day, maybe it was 2 days later, every single load of washing had been done, washed and dried. I think he ended up going to a laundry mat and just doing the whole lot there, because they have some big ones, okay? I think they're supposed to be for Doonas. He is for like the 15 loads that we have. So that was amazing. But of course, your girl's got the best job of putting it all away. Sometimes if I'm in a good mood, I will put it away straight away. And then sometimes I do what I'm doing now, where I just sort it out into piles. And they are basically each person's clothes. So if I don't have the time to actually put it away, I just have it in the buckets, but sorted by category, like mine and my husband's clothes, the kids' clothes. So that way, for the next like 2 weeks, or however long it's going to take me to put it away, and it just saves me all that stress of having to dig through buckets trying to find socks for like one person. So I highly recommend that method if you are a procrastinator. Speaking of, I have been putting off doing this garage declutter for so long. I went in there the other day to get something out and I was like, oh my god, this is really bad. Like, you honestly wouldn't think it's that bad considering how often I declutter. Clearly something's not working for me. Mostly that we collected 3 hobbies in 1 year, so that obviously didn't help at all. But my husband is planning on making me some storage for the garage, which I'm very excited about. A bit of backstory. Last year he asked me what I would like for our anniversary, and I asked him if he could make me a really nice wood raised garden bed, because I needed somewhere for my blueberries to go. I have a lot of blueberry plants, so he made that for me. He did have to like go and buy a circular saw and like all of the bits and pieces to make that for me. But it is my pride and joy. And so again, this year for our anniversary, I think I'm gonna like keep it on the theme of making me something and make some shelving for the garage. I'm not going to do justice on trying to describe this shelving, so I'll try and put in a picture and then I'll tell you as well. But it's basically a wood frame and you can stack your plastic storage tubs inside it and you're able to get into each single one. It was kind of a thing like 2 years ago, a trend. And so I kind of want that, and I want it on wheels so it's so easy to move around, and I think it's going to help us out a ton with what is going on in that garage, because we just got so much crap. We have so much stuff, unfortunately, and it's looking a bit diabolical in there. If you've been around for a minute, you know my biggest pet peeve is not being able to walk from the front to the back of my garage. It's just a nightmare. It's actually not too expensive. I think it worked out to be maybe just under $200 for the actual frame. The plastic containers is where it's going to get us the most. I think that was more expensive than the actual wood, but I think that's going to help us out with our garage, and of course I'll film that and you guys can see hopefully some progression in there. But honey, I just want to be able to get to my tubs. Right now they're all stacked in a pile and that is just not working out for us. I never obviously put anything away if it's in the bottom tub, because it's a lot of effort to move all of the tubs on top. I think we have reached the end of this video, and I know that was abrupt ending. Isn't it always around here? But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.